Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I thought that I would talk about 7 hacks that will make your life easier when watering your plants. These are 7 things that I personally do that I find reduce my watering down to a bare minimum. I personally have about 125 or so Hoyas in my cabinets and out in my general living space. And I have about 50 or so other plants. And I generally water my plants about every 10 to 14 days, all of them. And I spend about somewhere in the neighborhood of about 45 minutes watering all those plants per week. So I know that some people can devote a great deal of time watering. And I thought that since I did pare down my watering routine to such a low time frame, I thought that I would share these tips with you that I use to reduce the time that I spend watering each week, and to see if any of these might be suitable for you to use in your watering routines. Every little bit helps, and the more tips we have, the more hacks we use, the easier it gets for all of us. And I'm not saying that all of these will work for you, and I'm not saying that maybe any of them will work for you. But, this is just a share the experience type of a video. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you'd like to see other videos in this kind of topic. If you'd like to see more videos like this from me, especially Hoya related content, please consider subscribing to my channel. That lets me get the word out to the YouTube plant universe that my channel exists, that I'm here, especially since about 3 months ago, I switched my channel from Heron Fam to Heron Fam 1. That's my current channel, is Heron Fam 1. If you have any questions or would like to let me know your watering hacks, please put them in the comment section below. I definitely think that this is a shared learning type of a video, and that any hacks or tips that you have would definitely help the whole community as a whole. And now let's go ahead and get to talking about these hacks and see what we can do with them. The first hack that I have, and the most important to reducing my personal watering time, was to get a battery-powered watering can sprayer. I will put a video or some pictures up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. My personal watering can is a 2-gallon battery-powered sprayer. It has a battery pack in the handle, and it pumps it. You charge it up and it pumps the water for you. It is about as loud as a lawnmower, so that's definitely a drawback. I know there are quieter ones out there. Like I said, mine's in a 2-gallon size, so it has enough that I can definitely I fill it up twice to do my watering. So I use about 5 gallons per watering session every time I water. Like I said, I water about every 7 to 10 to 14 days, depending upon what time of year it is, whether I have the air conditioner on, whether I have the heater on, what the weather is outside, how dry it is in here. It all depends upon those parameters. The watering can sprayer allows me to just push the nozzle. It has a wand extension that all I have to do is hold the wand, and reach into the cabinets where all of my Hoyas are stationed. I don't have to move any of them, especially since they're in self-watering pots, most of them. And I just dispense the water as it goes from the watering can. I don't have to refill it very often. I don't have to worry about a pump action sprayer because they do make those. I don't have to keep pumping it up. That's what I had before I got the battery powered one. The battery powered one continuously pumps a solid rate for you. It's very fast. I have gotten very good at telling how long it takes to water each Hoya. A lot of mine, I can see the shadow of where the water rises to inside the self-watering pot, or I have clear, transparent pots so I can see how wet the substrate is. But getting back to the watering can itself, the wand it has, plus the constant speed the water dispenses at, just those two factors alone allow me to water the Hoyas at a much faster rate than I could with just an individual half gallon or gallon size typical indoor watering can that I would. That is the largest time saver that I can think of. I can water just the Hoyas, just watering in about 30 minutes, not counting checking on the plants themselves. The second tip I have goes kind of along with the first tip. So it is kind of related. It doesn't go just with the battery powered sprayer. This is with any sprayer that has a mist attachment onto the end. So if you have a pump action sprayer, or if you have any type of sprayer that has a mist attachment onto the end, my hack is to remove that mist sprayer. Take off that attachment totally. Don't use anything at all. Use just the open end of the wand or the spout, and you will find that dispenses water so much faster than just the mist attachment. If you are using a battery can sprayer or a pump action sprayer, or even a indoor watering can with, say, a sprinkler type of attachment, you are dispensing water at an exponentially slower rate, and it's going to take you so much longer to water your plants. The mist is so much less than if you just remove that attachment totally and you just use the open wand, where the water just streams out as fast as you can dispense it. Really, it will really shoot out if you take off that attachment, especially with battery powered sprayers. I really decreased the time spent watering when I did this. Really, a great deal. So that would be going kind of hand in hand, number one and number two. The next hack I have kind of goes before you start watering, and that is to have a pre-printed chart of all your watering add-ins printed for you, and to have all of your add-ins and your dispensing apparatus, your syringes, your spoons, at one location near where you set up all of your plant supplies. This seems like such a small thing that you can do, and it probably seems like, oh, I know how much I need for all of my nutrients and additives all the time. But you may have a situation where you need to reduce that, divide that, and you may need to alter the amount. So if you have your your nutrient list and also have it in order that you need to add them to your water, because some, I'm thinking the general hydroponics flora series, you have to add them in order or else you get nutrient lockout. Or also silica. I know sometimes you need to add silica in a specific order or you could get nutrient lockout. If you write these on a list in order, if you write the solution rate and then you write per your watering can how much you need to dispense, and you have that all on a paper. If you want to laminate it, that would be great. And then even if someone else needs to water for you, they will have that all set. You don't have to get out the bottles and look at the tiny print on the bottle. It's all there for you. So that would be another idea that I have to reduce the amount of time spent watering. And that would be to print out all of your nutrient and supplement dilution ratios and everything on a piece of paper or a card. The next hack I have is kind of a simple one. And this is not always possible, but if you can, I suggest you do it because it does reduce time. And that is water your plants in place. This is a time solution reducer because you do not have to carry all the plants to the sink or to the tub to shower or water them and then take them back. That really takes up a lot of time. Now, do I say never take them to the shower or never take them to the sink? No. I even have Hoyas or plants that I have to take to the sink every week because they're just too big. I need more water than my watering can will dispense. The other thing is if you have plants that are in pots that you need to water and kind of overflow the water in order to soak all of the soil or the mix, and you don't have, say, a self-watering pot, you just have a traditional pot, then it's kind of hard to water in place. But if you can water in place, do so. And this will come in kind of trailing in, tying into the next item I have for you. These all kind of tie in together, obviously. But if you can water in place for as much as you can, you will save a lot of time because that will decrease trips to and from the sink. The next idea I have is for the plants that are not in a self-watering pot or a traditional pot that has a built-in saucer to it. Use saucers with deep sides if at all possible. This will help you in a couple of ways. Hoyas, a lot of Hoyas, you use chunky substrates. And chunky substrates are really not able to just water gently and have all of the substrate soak in all of the water and become watered fully. So what I personally do is to water my plants in place. I have saucers underneath the pots so that I can water in place and the water will not get everywhere, all over the shelf. But also that saucer enables me to overflow the pot as I'm watering just a little bit, just enough for there to be some leftover water for that plant to uptake to bottom water. So I am going to water, and then I'm going to leave just a little bit in the bottom to bottom water back up to soak the entire pot to give it fully watered.
Hi, video editing Michelle here. I think I need to explain a little something, or at least give some type of quantitative information for you. how much water am I talking about exactly in here? Because I don't want you to think I'm filling these saucers up with water. When I say I leave a little bit of water, I mean I leave a little bit of water. Basically, all the water I leave is just enough so that it fills the bottom completely, so there are no gaps in the water, so there's no empty spots. So we're talking maybe 2 millimeters of water, maybe 3 millimeters of water, not very much at all. This is water that will soak up in maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. I don't want to mislead anyone and as a result give anyone root rot. Please, I don't want anyone to get root rot over this. But it's a trick I do, but it's definitely in moderation and at a very light touch. So that's what I needed you to know. I hope I've made myself clear. If I haven't, please put it in the comment section below and I will definitely explain it further. Okay, back to the video.
Now, this is not a one size fits all kind of a item to do. You cannot water the same amount per every Hoya and expect this to work. This will vary depending upon which plant you're watering. Some plants will want to stay damp continuously, and you will want to have a little bit more, leave a little bit more water in the bottom of the pot. And some plants, you will basically just want to leave just enough water in there just to barely wet substrate in that pot. Now with self-watering pots, that's kind of solved for you. What I can recommend with self-watering pots is use self-watering pots that have wicks in them, that have a separation between the inner pot that fits inside and it has a space where the water can sit and it will not continuously touch the actual plant substrate itself. That's what I find helps me the most. But it's a work in progress because not all plants like this and not all plants continuously like this. It's ever changing. So when I say leave some water in the saucer, please note that this depends upon your plant, the makeup of your substrate, and the time of year it is, and what that particular plant requires. So please don't leave half an inch of water in every plant you have because, that could lead to root rot. Very easy. Please take that with a grain of salt. But in general, when I water plants that have a chunky organic substrate, I will leave a little bit of water in the bottom of the saucer so that it can bottom water itself and get the whole substrate fully watered. That happens on its own. That happens without me needing to tend to it. It happens without me needing to take it to the sink and take it back. That is a time reducer for me because I can do that in place. I can do multiple Hoyas, bottom watering themselves all at once. I can check on them all at once to see how they're doing after that. I can dump all the water in those saucers out as they see fit because I don't have to leave that water in there. I can dump it out anytime I want to. I can bring a bucket and just dump all the water out as I see fit. That one's watered enough, dump it out. So that allows you to make it customized for what you need. The next item I have for you is kind of may not be possible for you, but it helps me, and that is to group all of your plants in specific zones. and then water that zone. It can be overwhelming to water all of your plants, to say, oh my gosh, today is watering day. I have to water 175 plants. No, don't do that. Don't stress yourself out. For example, I have three main areas that I water. I have my Vitsto shelf, I have my wall shelves, and I have my cabinets that you see behind me. So those are my three areas. I generally will water one at a time, and I will divide up my cabinets because my cabinets are where most of my Hoyas are. So I do that personally because I suffer from fatigue as part of some health issues I have. So I will say, okay, I'm going to water the Vitsto, and I get that done, and then I take a break. And then I will water the plants beside the first detolf and the detolf, and I'll take a break. And then I'll water the plants that are right here and the Millsbo behind me. And then I'll water the other plants and the detolf that's to the opposite side and the plants that are here. And then I'll take a break. And then I'll go water the plants that are on the wall shelves, because those are the big plants that I have. Well, they have Hoyas, but mainly the big trailing plants are all on my wall shelves. So those are the ones that have to be taken to the sink to be watered. I break up the zones into more manageable zones. If I didn't do that, I would not really be able to track where I am in my watering process. And I would also not be able to set a goal, like to myself, to like, okay, I can do this. I can water X. Okay, I can do this. I can water X and Y. Okay, I can devote 15 minutes to watering. I know I can water X in 15 minutes. To go along with that, I will talk about the last hack, and that is to keep track of your watering. I use a bullet journal. I use a bullet journal. Well, personally, I use a bullet journal because I stay at home. I am on disability. I've been on disability for a long term. I worked for many, many, many years before I went out on disability. I personally have internal struggles with staying at home, because it's a big difference between staying at home and working all day. And I have feelings that I'm not doing anything because I'm not working. So a bullet journal helps keep me centered, and it helps me know I did X, Y, and Z today, so I'm still a productive member of society. But I have a plant tracker that I keep track of what I do at any given time with my plants. When I say track, I mean fill in a box with a particular colored marker, and that color stands for something. I keep track of it, and the reason why I keep track of plant watering is so I know how long it's been since I watered, because if I don't do that, I will not water. I will wait too long to water. For example, I was sick for about 10 days. I got laid up with the flu, and I was really sick. And the flu intensified my migraines, which I suffer from daily migraines, and it really intensified my migraines, and it kind of triggered an additional migraine that took like 5 days to go away. So I was out of commission for 2 weeks, and I looked at my bullet journal and I realized I hadn't watered my plants for 21 days. So thankfully, they're all okay. I had my Maranta up here, had some losses. I had some leaf losses. Definitely, my Maranta is not as full as it was before. But other than that, everything's pretty much good. I have a Matilde that has one strand is dead. It root rotted. But other than that, everything's pretty much okay. If I hadn't kept track of that, I would have had no idea it had been 3 weeks since watering, and I probably would have waited longer to water because I felt so bad. But keeping track of that lets me know concretely how long it's been since I watered. It's always easier to keep track of something than to have an unfortunate accident or incident, or to have things deteriorate to the point of no return that maybe you wouldn't have got to that point if you had known how long it had been since you last watered. But keeping track really helps me out a lot. And maybe it'll help one of you. Okay, so those are all of my watering hacks to help make your watering time go shorter, to take less time. I hope that these were somewhat helpful for you. I hope that maybe one or two or maybe more of these are items that you could possibly incorporate or tweak and incorporate into your care routine to give you a little more time to do more important Hoya tasks or plant chores, to devote more time to things that we all don't have time to do everything. I hope that today's video was of interest and of help to you. If you have any questions, or like I said, if you want to input any of your hacks or your tips to make watering go quicker, please put them in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear what you have to say on this subject. And until next time, I will talk to you later. I really appreciate you taking the time to stay with me until the end. I know that your time could be spent elsewhere, and so I appreciate you spending it with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye.